Welcome. I'm your host, Dustin, and today we have a giant board of actors, producers, everybody for an upcoming film called Grind from Mark Cantu. And his last film that I just watched this week that Heather and Josh were telling me about was Wolf Hollow, and I enjoyed it a ton. So thank you guys so much for being here. And Heather, Josh, thank you for setting this up and getting another movie on my radar. This is great.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you, man.
So I mean, it's great to meet people in person. Like I saw you guys in Salem, September, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the show that I did with Drew, and that was amazing. And then just building on these avenues. But let's go ahead across everybody. We'll start with Josh, and then we'll just kind of work our way around whoever wants to go. Just introduce yourself, let you know what's going on, and then we'll jump into the questions.
Hey, I'm Josh Parks. I am a notorious day player, and that's really about it. No, I just love horror movies, and working on Wolf Hollow is like one of my first things after a couple trauma gigs. But Mark is the man.
Hell yeah. And it doesn't really matter who goes next. Anybody who wants to go ahead.
My name is Stanton Rutledge, and I'm new to this horror genre. Thanks to Brian and Mark, I'm looking forward to getting killed by Heather. My history is just some films, and I've been in the business for a while, and this is going to be a fun jump for me into another genre.
Awesome. So we go, Brian.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Hi, I'm Brian Saponis. This is my third go around with Mark. I had done Master Academy with him, which actually is just getting released. It's going to be on Amazon Prime here probably the next day or so, which is great.
Oh, wow.
And then Wolf Hollow and Grind. Definitely look forward to Grind. It's going to be one heck of a ride.
Hell yeah. Heather?
I'm Heather Lynn. I'm an actress, model, love horror comedy. It's my favorite. And one of my favorite things I've ever done was die in Mark Cantu's last film, Wolf Hollow, via Brian. It was one of my favorite things ever. So I cannot wait for Grind. It's got to be even better than the last.
Hell yeah. Kay?
Hi, I'm Kay Leahy. I'm an actress, singer, model, mermaid, author, artist. I think that's it for now. But mostly actress. This is my first film with Mark. Grind is my first film. And I'm really stoked to work with him. I've been wanting to work with him for a while. But this is definitely not my first horror flick. I think I've only done one or two other things that aren't horror since I started screen acting. So I love it though. Yeah. So.
Awesome. Anthony?
Hello, my name is Anthony Bebo. I am a model, actor, poet. This will be my second film. One of my first feature films. This will be, I think, my first or second for the year. I have another one that I'm working on currently that'll be shooting later this year. Something cool, I guess, about me. I recently just got on the cover of Coral Avenue's men's fashion magazine, so that's
Congrats.
like the first big thing that I've done.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all for being here. I'm really excited to talk about Wolf Hollow and this upcoming movie Grind, and kind of just learn a little bit more about that, because with Wolf Hollow, I'm somebody who feels like there's not enough werewolf films out there. Yeah, I love werewolf films. I think it's one of the most underappreciated of the original, Universal monster films of Wolfman. I think everybody highlights vampires and Frankenstein way too much compared to, werewolves or, lycanthropes or anything like that. So visiting this one, I had such a blast on it. The effects were amazing. The opening scene was so crazy. I wasn't sure what I was going to get myself into with this. I was like, is it going to be very bloody? Is it going to be, more of a story behind it? And you're going to see the werewolves at the very end. But no, you kind of jump right into it and you get torn apart immediately. Josh, you're your scene of you, like I saw you fly, and I'm like, oh, there's Josh. I was like, oh, there's Heather. It was great. And then, Brian, it was great, seeing you in it as well, and just all the other amazing things that happened in a film like that. For it being, I didn't really look up what the cost was for it, but what I can gather was pretty low budget for what we're getting into, and for what came out of that, I thought was amazing.
Cool.
That's Mark.
Yeah, it's amazing. So I'm really very inspired and intrigued as to see what Grind's going to be like. So I guess, Brian, if you want to kind of tell us a little bit about what Grind's about, and where people can support this film that's going to be getting made.
Yeah, sure. Grind is the gist of it is it's a group of film students that are putting on this Grindhouse Film Festival with these kind of cheesy bad movies, and they're big fans of some of the actors in it and stuff, and they end up finding this one film canister that hasn't been seen for decades and decide to show it. And unfortunately, the film is a cursed film called The Creeping Chaos. And once they show that film, all hell breaks loose. And who's going to make it out alive, I guess, at the end? So it's got comedy, horror, action, gore. It's got everything all wrapped up in one neat package. And right now we're less than 30 days left in our Indiegogo campaign. If you go out to Indiegogo and search for Grind, you'll see the film out there, and we're trying to raise funds. We've met our initial goal of 25,000, and we're aiming for our stretch goal of $45,000 now. So we're on our way, but we definitely could use the help and support to get us there, because it's going to be, like I said, one crazy fun film.
Awesome. And I'll make sure at the end of this, and when it goes out, the links will be down below for everybody to go check it out. But as I was reading through it, seeing, some of the familiar faces that were in Wolf Hollow, like you got Felissa Rose, Lynn Laurie coming back, I think is really, really cool to see, these horror legends just really go at as many films as possible. And all the films that they're in are really good. Whether, like it be like Wolf Hollow or some of the other ones like Felissa was in, or I know Lynn just did another film, I think it was last year, that I was talking to some people about, and I heard that it came about pretty well. So I'm very intrigued to see, what they're going to be doing in this film. But Josh and everybody else, I guess we can kind of just go through, because I imagine everybody already has their set characters of what they're going to be doing. So Josh, if you want to kind of go out and just highlight what your character is going to be like in Grind.
Well, with me, I have no idea. Yeah, I don't think I'll probably find out until the day I get there. So, yeah, Brian.
I'll let somebody else speak first. Go ahead, Stanton. Take it away.
I play Kenny, one of the older people that go to this Grind Fest. My son, who's played by Daniel, he's really into this whole Grind movie stuff, and he and I are fans of one of the major stars of these movies, and so we just have fun together. And I just get in the middle of all the mayhem and all the action, all the blood, all the fun, and it's gonna be fun. I get to fight along with my son.
Awesome. Heather?
I am the mayhem. I am the blood. I'm the guts. I'm the villain.
Oh, yes.
Could be fantastic.
Yes. I'm really, really excited for that.
Me too.
Okay.
I play Laurie. She is a young mom of a preteen daughter, and she is a huge Grindhouse B and C horror fan, so that'll be easy to get into. And she's bringing her daughter, and introducing her daughter to this environment. And her ex-husband's also there, and he's not digging it at all. So that's going to be really fun to kind of play. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to play a mom. I don't usually get cast in mom roles, but I'm really excited. And she's an absolute badass. I can't wait.
Nice. I know you're going to kill it. Anthony, how about you?
I play Maddie. He is oh god, he's like the furthest thing from like what I actually am. He's the jock. Originally, I auditioned for AJ. I was hoping to get AJ, not because like, oh, they're like one of the main characters, but like just because I thought I fit AJ a little bit better. But I guess Mark saw some jock stereotype in me, so that'll be something. I'm with like the group of kids who find the creeping chaos, or one of no, it's another film canister that they find. Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm getting that confused. I Ignore me. I'm with the original group of kids, so AJ and then a couple other people who find the black, or not the Black Death, creeping chaos. And it'll be fun to just get on set and mess around. I'm really excited to get on set. I was on set for a big union show. I was just background. And so to see the way that everything worked and like all the people that I met on there, to actually like be part of the main cast for something like this, I'm ecstatic.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was reading everything on Indiegogo, and learning a little bit more about it, seeing who's going to be in it, being a cosmic horror comedy film. It's another thing that's really funny because I said earlier on that I feel like werewolves aren't really highlighted enough in the horror genre, but I feel like cosmic horror is kind of the same thing too, because it's not something that's super easy to pull off, having to bring a cosmic energy down and to implement it in film. I feel like if you were going to do it, in a cartoon way or animation would be better. But the film that did it the best recently, and I'm really, really excited to see how this film does it, was The Color Out of Space, that last one with Nick Cage. And I feel like the visuals on that were amazing. They were beautiful. They were haunting. So I'm really excited, after seeing what the poster looks like. I'm like, oh yeah, there's going to be some colors in this film. And I love films with a lot of color. So I'm super interested to see how that's going to be implemented on screen.
You like?
Go ahead.
You like purple?
I do. I love the color purple. Purple and blue are my two favorite colors. I think they blend well so
Quick,
well.
Mark, purple and blue, let's go.
But yeah, I'm super interested to see how this film is going to go. But I would also like to kind of dive into Wolf Hollow and just to see how kind of that movie got brought about. So Brian, I'll ask you, how did Wolf Hollow kind of get started and land on Tubi?
Well, yeah, Tubi's one of them. I mean, it's everywhere. It's Amazon Prime. It's all over the place. But yeah, we're actually coming off Massacre Academy, and I know Mark and I had talked about doing a werewolf film, and just started kind of kicking around ideas, and then he kicked out that script like he tends to do. He's just such a prolific screenwriter in terms of how he can just turn things around quickly. And we locked everything in terms of where we wanted to shoot. We had a location here in Pittsburgh that was this haunted attraction. It's a full-time haunted attraction, and they gave us the full run of the place, which was fantastic. And yeah, we managed to land Lynn Lowry and Felissa, which was great. And so let's go on and shoot this thing. So we had a really an aggressive shoot schedule. We shot it in a week. And what was that, 21, 22, something like that. And yeah, we took a week, shot it, knocked it out, and just had a lot of fun. It was you're playing with werewolves, and one of the things Mark likes to do is everything was practical. So all the effects and everything were practical. The explosion and everything in there was practical. So it's just nice to be able to do things for real and not sit there and worry about, hey, I'm going to do this in post and try and make it look real. So we had a great 2 werewolf costumes, which look fantastic on screen. A whole lot of blood, and poor Christina, the lead girl in the film, she was just doused with blood the one night, and it was rather chilly. So she's sitting there in all this blood and everything, and freezing her butt off. But she was a trooper and did a great job. And yeah, just came out with a really fun film.
Yeah, I recommend it for sure for anybody to go and watch it, whether it be on Amazon, Tubi, wherever you can find it. Especially if you're someone like me who's always looking for werewolf films. The suits were amazing. The amount of blood that was used, it was a lot, but it wasn't like super over the top. And for you saying it was practical, I could definitely tell that. And I'm hoping it'll be the same case as much as you possibly can with a cosmic horror film, with there being even more practical effects on grind. Because I want to see some crazy things happen in this. But I also want to go back to Josh and Heather to talk about Wolf Hollow, because you guys are in the opening of the film, of the big, I don't want to spoil it, but I guess, a massacre kind of happens. But Josh, Heather, how was your experience on set during that shoot?
Oh, it was so much fun. I think Mark is the one word I would definitely use to describe him is efficient with his time, resources, everything. Very efficient, very to the point, very direct, and it obviously works. And he has this vision where he definitely wanted the opening scene to be a massacre, blood everywhere, like, oh my God, like a shock value. And I think he definitely delivered with that. And I'm so grateful to be a part of it. It was wonderful.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It was like my first movie experience. Obviously, I'm still very new to this. So meeting Brian and Mark, like everybody was fantastic, man. They were just super welcoming and, cheering you on. It was really cool. Very cool experience. Wouldn't trade for the world.
Awesome. That's really good to hear, having crews really tight and everybody really getting along too and having fun. But going back to grind, do you have a location that you guys have already like sought out that you want to shoot on, or are you still kind of, going around the areas and seeing where you guys want to do this?
I guess I'll take this. There's a couple places where most of the film takes place in a movie theater, which makes it
perfect,
easy in terms of locations. So there's a couple of spots that we're either looking for here in Irwin, outside of Pittsburgh, or maybe even going down to West Virginia. Yeah, we're looking at a couple really cool, old school kind of neat looking theaters that this is going to take place in.
Awesome. That's a great place. Movie theaters and horror movies is, I think, the best location possible. For it being what it is too, is going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah.
But other than that, because I want people to really go and support this, and I'm really, really intrigued on it. Was there any inspirations that I guess, Brian, that you or Mark were kind of pulling from to get this vision together? Was there any films that you were looking at, or any books, H.P. Lovecraft or anything like that?
Well, H.P. Lovecraft is one of the influences, definitely. But the funny thing was, after Wolf Hollow, because I mean that was 2 years of work getting that film basically from start to finish, and it had gotten to the point where Mark's like, I'm done. I just need a break. And I'm like, great, you should just stop and take a break. And then like a week later, he's like, hey, I got an idea. Another week, he had the script. I'm like, dude, slow down. But that's like I was saying about Mark. He's a force of nature. He's a machine. He just, when he got an idea, he got this bug and the idea about this thing. And I'm not even kidding. This script was turned around within weeks. It was like he had the idea and boom, we went through 9 draft revisions and there's grind. So it's just in his head. He's got all kind of crazy ideas, and this is the one that popped out and went into a script form. So
awesome. I want to go to Stanton. You said this was like you're pretty much your first introduction to horror. Was there anything that you were doing before this, and why were you interested in doing a horror film?
I was interested in doing this. Well, my history, I've been in the business for a long time, and did movies like Fast and Furious, Pleasantville, a bunch of soap opera stuff, and detectives, playing preachers, playing dads. And I've known Brian for a long time, and so I'm in LA, and I went out to Pittsburgh to do a film with Brian and Jesse Hutchins, who's also part of production of this Grind movie. And great movie. We had done waiting, and I met Mark when I went back to the premiere. And at that time, I watched Massacre Academy, and I told Mark, I said, man, next movie you do, Wolf Hollow was already pre-production. So I said, next movie you do, especially if it's a horror movie, write me a part.
Hell yeah.
And so that's how I got into the horror film. And I can't wait. I don't play a scary creature or person like Heather, but I'm still kind of typecast as a dad, but it's going to be a fun dad, I get to fight a character named Wes Brantley, who's a character in the movie that everybody's just going to love. So I don't know who plays Wes Brantley, but I'm going to enjoy, fighting along with him.
That's awesome.
That's nutshell.
Awesome. Kay, you said that you were doing work before this, and this is like your first role of doing like a, kind of like a mom thing. So what were you doing before this, and why this film?
So I've played a lot of Final Girls. I was Tiffany in Bloody Summer Camp with Slasher 15. I just a couple summers ago I filmed Killer Camp Out 2 with Brad Twigg and his group, and I've been playing a lot of, and the characters have been really different, but at the same time they've all kind of had like this fight drive, which I love, and this character has that fight drive too, but like for this character the motivation is saving my kid, which will be very interesting. But so yeah, I mean, I've played moms before, in like shorts and stuff, but this is the first time I'm doing a full feature as a parent. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I look old enough to be a parent. And then I realized that a lot of like my peers around my age, they all have kids around that age, or slightly younger. So I'm like, okay, it's believable. That's fine.
Awesome. Well, as a father, I'm going to be very interested to see how you portray your motherhood and see what's going on with you saving your kid.
I can't wait.
Because
I can't wait.
especially when it comes to me being a father and watching horror movies when there are kids involved, I always, I'm always afraid of what's going to happen to those kids, because it's like, what if that's my son?
Yeah, I mean, and it's going to be interesting to see, like, because there's the girl playing my daughter. It's like she's done this a lot, and her mom is like a really good manager. She knows what's what, but I'm really curious to because I've heard it's hard for parents of young actors to watch their kids play like parts that have moments where they're in pain, where they have to portray that.
Yeah.
And that can be hard for them to watch. So I don't know, maybe I'll ask her.
Yeah.
Pick her brain.
So Anthony, you said you were doing things before this and you were modeling, but what turned you on to want to be in this film?
You're muted, Anthony.
Oh yeah. Yep. Still muted.
Right.
There we go.
How's this?
You're good now.
All right, sorry about that.
You're good.
It's really interesting. I get my auditions through such weird means. I recently signed with an agent in Chicago a couple months ago, and I get auditions from them, and they're really, really cool. They're not like commercial auditions. Not that I'm opposed to them, but as you can tell, I have a very young look, and that has held me back, at least I feel, a ton in the industry. And everybody tells me, oh, once you like grow into it, you'll look really good, and like you're sitting on a gold mine, this, that, and the third. But it doesn't really feel like it, because all the auditions that I do and I go for, every single time, if it's a short film, if it's like something a little bit bigger, it's always, hey man, we really loved your performance, but you look young and we're not going for that look for your character. So when I auditioned for this, I was truthfully, I was expecting the same exact response, like of, oh, you'll play someone who in a flashback scene like 10 years prior when they were like really young, or like look younger, or like you'll play somebody's kid. But it's really cool now that I get to play my own character who can like stand on his own 2 feet, and I get to stretch my legs, so to speak. I'm very thankful to Mark. He seemed enthusiastic about every tape that I submitted, every time I auditioned. And I I'm grateful that someone just doesn't see me as a younger version of someone else. Instead, I get to be like a standalone character.
Well, that's awesome. That's growth for you, man. I'm really happy for you, getting out there and you having a bigger opportunity to, kind of show something that you've been wanting to do for a while. That's awesome. Absolutely
Thank
awesome.
Get a couple of wives, man. It'll age you quickly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, well.
I will say Shonda did try to get on, but she's not going to be able to make it. She's having some technical difficulties.
Oh, that's okay. Next time, when we get some more information and if we get a trailer and stuff, I'd love to get everybody back on here and kind of dissect it with all you. Because I am very intrigued and interested as to see how this film is going to be made, especially after seeing Wolf Hall. I got to go watch the other film you guys are talking about when that comes out to, see how things either progress or, see how things are with Mark's work after just seeing Wolf Hollow. So I'm very, very, very interested. And Brian, I know you said that you were probably going to have to head out, so I can let you go now. And thank you so much, man, for being here. And it was awesome chatting with you.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
Thank you, Brian.
Brian.
Later, Brian.
Yep.
So I think I have maybe one or two more questions, and these are fun ones. These aren't going towards either Wolf Hollow or Grind. It's kind of generalized questions. I always like to kind of see what your favorite films are, especially in the horror genre. If you haven't watched any horror, then don't worry about it. But I imagine everybody here has at least seen one. Josh, let's go with you, man.
Let's see. I'm usually like a ghoulies, critters kind of dude. I think we've talked about Crabs too. That was just out.
Yeah,
that was fun, man. Creature features.
Hell yeah. Heather?
I like Grave Encounters and The Faculty. I think they're both very underrated.
Yeah, Faculty's been getting a resurgence lately.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's been a lot of podcasts and people covering it. I think it's even getting a 4K release this year, if it hasn't already happened. Yeah.
I love that one.
Stanton, how about you?
Well, I'm partial to Jack and The Shining.
Oh, yeah.
But I also like the Saw series.
Wow, you're going real crazy there.
You never know.
But
always the quiet ones.
I go back to the black and white Frankenstein and Wolfman and those Universal classics. But
yeah, you can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with those. Kay, how about you?
So I'm like a paranormal ghost fan. So like I'm gonna get so much flack for this, but I absolutely love the Nun movie.
Okay. Okay.
And
no judgment.
Yeah, no, I mean a lot of people have a lot to say about it and it's not that spooky, but like I'm still terrified of the dark and they really utilized that. Come on. Like I was filming a scene in Bloody Summer Camp where I had to be in this pitch dark room before I entered, and like there was the guy playing the villain was right behind me and I knew him personally, but like he was in the mask, so I was like but like I think the effects for me were really great, and musically, because like I'm a musician, so musically I was like it was so stunning, and that's what really hit it for me.
Awesome. Anthony, what about you?
I can't remember the last like horror movie that I've watched, but like in general, a movie that I absolutely love is Baby Driver. Baby Driver is probably like one of my favorite movies, but like for horror, it was a TV show that was on like I think it was on ID or like those Lifetime networks. It was called Celebrity Ghost Stories. I absolutely loved that series, and I'll rewatch it any chance I really get. To go in the same vein with that, like those haunting stories. So like,
those are good.
From Annie.
Suburban Family buys like the unknown Amityville Horror House. I'm huge into like that kind of those like Lifetime shows.
Awesome. Well, this was great, guys. Being able to kind of learn a little bit more about what's going on in the campaign and where you guys are going for with this film, and to kind of get some more eyes on this, because that's the whole goal of this, is to get this out. Hopefully you guys get that stretch goal that you're getting on right now. I'm super, super interested. So I hope that you guys meet that, and we'll see this film made very soon. But thank you, obviously, Heather and Josh, for putting this together, for reaching out to me, seeing if I'd like to do this. I love talking to anybody I possibly can. That's the whole point of doing this, is to kind of meet people and then get other people to realize who these people are, go watch their other works, see what's going on, support their future works like Grind, or go watch Wolf Hollow, which I said was on Tubi, and I guess it's also on Amazon as well. And for the next film that will be coming out, and I think they said the next couple of days that will be coming out. So I'm super, excited for all of you to be acting in this crazy film, and I'll be there watching it as soon as it's out.
Thanks for having us on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dustin. You're the man.
You guys rock. And once more things come out, I would love to get everybody else on here, and the people who maybe want to come on later as well, to kind of dissect things and go a little bit deeper into your characters, especially when the movie comes out. I'd love to pick your brains and what you're doing for those characters.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a lot of fun. And also, in the meanwhile, if you want to check out the perks on Indiegogo, there's sweatshirts, lunch boxes, t-shirts, all sorts of fun things.
Yes, and I'll be linking that down below for everybody to go check this out. But thank you guys so much for being here. I know this was a short one, but it was short and sweet. Hopefully it gets some people over there. I'm going to be going checking out those perks as well. I think I looked at a couple of them, but I got to go look at the other ones. But thank you guys so much for being here, and we'll catch everybody on the next one.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dustin.
Have a good one, everybody.